So I just got back from seeing him in theaters, and if you're new to this channel, we do honest reviews. I'm not doing any crazy edits or clickbait to try to make you stay or watch. This is just me talking and telling you guys like it is and if this movie's worth watching. There's a lot of talk about this movie and hype with it having Jordan Peele's name attached as a producer, not a director by the way. So if you want to find out if it was all worth it without spoilers, sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you're like me, then you saw right through this movie and knew what it was going to be. More symbolism over actual substance. There's a certain genre of modern movies that I haven't coined a term for yet, but basically it's movies that are weird for the sake of being weird. They're usually well shot and well made, so that brings out the pretentious audience type, and then they're full of symbolism and metaphors and are usually oddly sexual and violent. From last year, a movie like The Substance comes to mind, or like any movie from Yorgos Lanthimos. I'm not necessarily calling these type of movies bad, I'm more saying they're just not for me. Not because I like being spoon-fed ideas, but more so because I think a lot of it is a cop-out. Specifically leaving out explanations and then just calling it a metaphor isn't good writing. It's just a way not to have to come up with something clever. So all that's to say, this is kind of one of those movies. However, in the case of him, I was actually pretty entertained, and let me explain why. The biggest thing this movie has going for it is its short runtime. It says an hour 36 online, but I timed it and it only came out to 1 hour and 30 minutes. And this was the perfect amount. Usually a short runtime means they tend to explore things and characters less, but for a movie like this, if you added 20 minutes to it, it would have just been 20 minutes of weird stuff. Instead, it was well paced and it went by quick. Definitely a plus. If you've seen my channel before, then you know I complain a lot about how bad modern movies look. I mean, this recent shot from the Mortal Kombat trailer is enough to make me not want to go see the movie. However, if I complain about when a movie looks really bad, then I have to highlight when a movie looks good. And apart from Sinners, this movie probably has the best cinematography of any movie all year. It's filmed and lit very intentionally and very well done. This movie had a bit more comedy than I was expecting, with witty remarks that helped break up the more serious tones. It wasn't really a horror movie, so I don't know why it seemed to be marketed like one. There were maybe scary moments like sound-wise, but there wasn't really anything meant to scare you. Was it creepy and cultish? Yes, but not necessarily horror. My biggest surprise was seeing Julia Fox, and honestly, I was very impressed. I think she did a really good job of not overplaying and overacting in her role, which she easily could have. I think most people will watch this movie and highlight Marlon Wayne's acting. However, I think the main guy, Tyreek Withers' performance was the best in the whole movie. This movie has a lot of what I'm coining cryptic asshole characters. These characters, specifically Marlon Wayne's, never really say what's actually going on. He'll just end conversations in the middle of them for no reason and is an asshole to the main guy, like unnecessarily mean. And again, this goes back to the main problem of symbolism over substance. Instead of being clever and actually explaining what's really going on, they keep it open-ended and claim that it's like some type of metaphor or symbolism, and then at the end of the movie, they try to explain it, but it didn't really land for me. So I know I said I'm going to keep this spoiler free, and I am, but there's one thing I need to bring up. The trailer to this movie ends with the same scene the actual movie ends on. It's insane. So this shot in the trailer is the same scene to the actual ending of the movie. How crazy is that? There's obviously more that goes on in the movie, but as soon as he stepped outside in this environment, I knew he was going to end up covered in blood like I saw in the trailer. It's just very annoying what trailers think are spoilers versus what actually are for me. And it's a big reason why I don't watch trailers for movies that I actually care about anymore. So this movie is definitely not a Jordan Peele movie. If you're into the weird type, suspenseful, symbolic movies, then this movie is definitely worth watching because it's one of the better ones like that for sure. But if you want a more clever sports movie, this may not be for you. I'm giving this a 2.5 out of 5 stars, but it's my highest 2.5 ranked movie of the year, which puts it at number 13 right now for my rankings for 2025. If you guys are curious, you can check out the whole list on my Letterboxd. But let me know in the comments your rating and what you thought, and we could talk.